So now you're going to make contact. You've got your list, you've sorted, you've downloaded it, you scrubbed your list a few times, you've come up with a handful of banks that you're ready to contact. Now, let me just say this. There was a period of time in my career where I was probably getting, I don't know, I want to say 3, maybe 5 calls a day sometimes. You know, maybe a good day, maybe 1 or 2 or whatever the case is. Very difficult to take those number of calls. Very, very difficult. If you're going to contact the bank, if you're going to attempt to do this, be prepared. Don't do it as an exercise. Don't do it to see what happens. Okay? Be prepared. It's all about credibility. All right? The bank will come back to you if it's a smooth transition. If things work well and you're informative and the communication works and everything's in place, that's probably an investor the bank will go back to with another pool because it worked easily. Okay? So who do you talk to at a bank when you try to contact a bank? It's pretty difficult to get in touch with people at a bank to talk about. It doesn't seem like it would be hard, but it is difficult. Okay? You could try special assets manager. You could try a workout manager. Sales department for non-performing loans. A collections manager. Or a loan officer. Loan officers know the workout managers, trust me. Okay? A lot of loan officers today are workout people. Perhaps not the best workout people, but they were lenders at one time, and lending dried up. So they converted them to workout people because they knew the credit better than most people. They originated the credit. Okay? Which is probably not a good thing always also. All right? All right. So now that you're ready to call, you have your financing together. You've rehearsed what you want to say. You know in general what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. If a lending institution offers you something, a pool of bankrupt residential loans, you know, in a city that you're not familiar with or not comfortable with or not familiar with or comfortable with bankruptcy law in the process, and you don't want them, tell them now. Don't let the bank send you that information, your contact person, and then turn them down later. Tell them in advance. He'll respect you. The person will respect you for that. Be polite. Many workout people are overwhelmed with the number of loans and properties. There's far more workout loans and distressed properties, REO properties, than there are workout people. Okay? So when you call, be polite. Be persistent. Mel and I were talking earlier before I stepped up here about being persistent. You have to be persistent. Remember rule number 1, be polite, be persistent. You may have to leave a few voice messages. You might have to send some faxes. You may want to send an email. You know, hey, 3rd email, I understand you're really busy, just looking for an opportunity to talk with you. I only need 10 minutes of your time. I'm looking for commercial distressed loans, or I'm even interested in commercial REO properties. Please contact me at your earliest convenience. A week later, 2 weeks later, hey, Steve again, just wanted to touch base. You know, any luck or, you know, anything you think that I might be interested, I'm willing to take a look at. Okay? Be polite and be flexible. Listen to what the bank, know what you want, but listen to what the bank has to offer. All right. If the bank has a pool of commercial notes, and the pool may total $50 million, Okay? You may not be able to take down 50 million, but if you do your homework, you may have enough contacts in this room alone to jointly take down 50 million. Okay? Now, when I say 50 million, we're talking about a UPB. UPB is an unpaid principal balance. Okay? Of course, you're not going to pay 50 million, but you may have enough contacts in here where you can get a group together and say, look, I have a pool of 8 loans. I'm interested in 1 or 2. I'd like to know if you'd like to jump in and see if we can get this deal done. Use your contacts. These people sitting right here in the room are the most important people you know when it comes to being successful. All right? It's all about contacts. Large pool versus big pool. I just gave you that example. You may be just looking for 1 loan. Maybe 2. Well, if they have 8 loans, 10 loans, 20 loans, you have to be prepared. Now, if you know for a fact that you can't do 20 loans, you can ask the bank contact, I'm not in the market for 20 loan pool, but let me ask you, any chance I could pull a few out of there? They might say, nope, I'd rather take a pool bid. Say, okay, no problem. But if you think you can make it happen, maybe you take a look at the 20, okay? And you contact enough people in here, maybe you can take that pool down. Commercial, residential, BK, already modified. These are all different types of loans that could be in a pool. You could have commercial loans, residential loans, BK loans. Don't sit there until you finally made bank contact. You finally got somebody on the phone. They finally said, okay, I got your 12 emails, I get it, here's what I got for you. Don't sit there and say, well, really, wait a minute, I'm looking for commercial properties, and I need them to be in Indiana, and I want them, no bankruptcy, because now it's a real short conversation, okay? I'll call you back. I'll email you. Don't wait. All right. So be flexible. Be prepared. Know what you're looking for. And be able to adjust. All right? And don't, whatever you do, ask the bank contact to do your work. All right? Be prepared to fax or email the bank contact a written summary of your company. This probably eliminated half the phone calls that I used to get. If you're going to contact a bank in advance, put together something on letterhead that's just a little bio of your company. Okay? Summarizes a little bit about your company, originated in X, funded by X investment capital, willingness to purchase REO properties, or commercial loans, residential pools, up to 5 million, et cetera, working with the X management group. And then what I say is talk about some of your prior purchases. Successful bidder in recent purchase of a $4 million commercial pool. That has credibility. When I used to ask for this letter, it eliminated a large percentage of the phone calls. It helps me establish credibility that you're real. Remember, I have very limited, that bank contact has very limited time. Okay? All right, transfer of data. Be flexible and learn how to use the bank source of data. Due diligence. Let them know how long it will take for your review, for you to review your file. You should be able to get through a list of loans relatively quickly. And how quickly can you settle? Before any bank sends you any information, you're going to sign a confidentiality agreement. You do not want to broach that confidentiality agreement. You never, ever, ever want to contact the borrower. Ever. Okay? Be flexible. Learn how to use the bank's source of data. If the bank says, look, I'm going to send you an Excel spreadsheet, and you don't know how to use Excel, learn or hire somebody that does know how to use Excel. Don't ask that bank contact to sort that Excel spreadsheet for you. You'll get my email. Yeah. Okay. Let them know how long it will take you for you to review the file. Be realistic. Okay? No one person can get through a due diligence process in a half a day, whatever the case may be. So be realistic. Do you have a support team that can help you? Okay? If you had 20 commercial loans and you picked out 2, you could handle your 2. The other 18, the people in this room and whoever's going to be looking at the other 18, they got to have some type of credibility. They can't come back in 3 months from now saying, I just got back from vacation. I'll take a look at it. Too late, done. It's all about timing. It's all about establishing credibility. It's all about making it an easy transition for that bank contact to do business with you. And let me tell you, when I sold notes, I would go back to the same buyer quite often. Why? Well, I went back to the same buyer first because I felt like I was getting fair pricing. I felt like they were knowledgeable. They didn't take a lot of my time, which was critical. Okay? Excuse me. And they were able to perform. Easy. Why do I have to go through 12 other new investors when 10 of them might not fit that criteria? I got one that does pretty well, one that I'm happy with the numbers with, one that does his own due diligence, one that doesn't ask me to sort an Excel spreadsheet by higher or lower balance, by state, by bankruptcy, whatever. One that does all the due diligence on their own, comes back to me with valid questions. Okay? How quickly can you settle? You have to let them know. Settle in 30 days. Subject to, some limited contingencies.